I'm skipping. I swear this is just a waste of time. I'm skipping through 'em, I'd rather listen and change my mind. Wes and Nick always help me through my daily grind. Your favorite guys, your favorite lines, change my mind. I swear these other podcasts is just a waste of time. I'm skipping through 'em, I'd rather listen and change my mind. Wes and Nick always help me through my daily grind. Your favorite guys, your favorite lines, change my mind. Yeah.
What is up, world? Welcome to the maiden voyage of the Change My Mind podcast. Wesley Sykes here, joined with the Fry guy, Nick Friar. What's going on, Nick? What's good in the hood?
What's up, Wes? Already off to a good start with the audio not working right out the gates. I love that stuff.
Well, Rome wasn't built in one day,
This is true. This is true. But I like our intro, and I like that we're past that moment, because this is the first time I'm operating a board, but I was taught by the best, so we're good to go.
We're in good shape here, yeah. And that, if you're interested in that podcast or the theme music, if you will, of our podcast, that's by the one and only rapper from White Plains, New York, Kenny Shane.
Oh yeah, legend.
You can find him on Spotify. You can find him on iTunes. His new album, Open Heart, just dropped, so you can go find him on there. He's done some cool stuff.
I appreciate him setting aside some time to get things rolling for us.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a nice little amuse-bouche, if you will, into our podcast here.
But we're not going to spend the whole show talking about music, because that's not what this show's about.
No, it's not. I think you summed it up pretty well, I would say, in a quick synopsis. You want to hit us with what you do?
I would say,
think this is?
If people are curious about our relationship, we are friends. We like a lot of the same stuff, but we could not be more different in terms of how we feel about the same stuff.
Right. From two different sides of the same coin, if you will.
I think that's the right saying.
How many times did I have to try that in the pre-show to get that down?
I think you did it 3 times.
Yeah.
You did it 3 times, but it's okay.
The fourth time was the charm.
Honestly, I didn't know which one was right or wrong.
It
so
sounds
you're
good,
fine.
though, right?
Either way, you're fine. I think most people are going to have to look it up to figure out if you're right or wrong.
Yes, and we love, movies, comic books, Marvel,
DC.
Some DC stuff.
I love a lot of DC stuff, actually.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking the movies. You're more the comic book guy, so I can get where that crossover is there.
We're gonna do. You said shows, conspiracy theories.
A little
you're a big
conspiracy
thing.
theories, yeah.
You keep saying a little whenever we talk about it. You have so much.
Dash.
Yeah, you have so much in the tank, and I think that it's. I'm excited about it because I'm not a conspiracy theory guy as much as I'm interested by them. You talk about going down rabbit holes on the internet. You are the king of that.
Well, yeah, who doesn't? I think I'm just like any other Joe Schmo out there, just interested in seeking the truth. And finding a further knowledge than what's spoon-fed to you in the mainstream media. We both work in the media, so I think we have a right to say that.
Yeah, but on the sports side, so we're not real journalists, I guess, technically, but...
No, we play in the sandbox.
Yeah, I like to... don't get me wrong, I will go down a rabbit hole on the internet like anybody else, but when it comes to conspiracy theories, I just don't know when I'm, getting into... too much BS. I don't know how to differentiate between the two, and then I'll start.
So you don't believe people are turning the frogs gay?
No, I don't.
No?
I
turning the frogs gay.
That's a thing.
That's Alex Jones.
I was saying,
that guy. I guess that's a thing.
Yeah, if you had Alex Jones being the first guy that we'd bring up in this show, then you won.
Yes.
Nothing.
You hit the over pretty early, right?
Yes.
yeah,
exactly.
That's it right there. But this is going to be a really fun episode, I think. So I think we're going to open the show with a little bit of news and notes and stuff from over the weekend, some leftover things as well. But then we're going to get into our main topic this week, which is spoilers versus non-spoilers. And we'll get into that in the moment. But let's start with a little bit of news here. I think
stuff that's almost maybe at the top of our minds.
Yes, the top. There it is.
Ooh.
What's on the top of your mind, Nick?
Well, on the top of my mind, Wes, I would say the first thing that jumps out is, The Punisher started up this past weekend.
Yes.
On Friday.
Good weekend to start, hunker down and watch some shows, too, with the weather. I don't know who's listening where, but if you're in the Northeast, it's...
Absolutely brutal. Northeast, and I think
freezing my nips off.
I think in the Midwest it wasn't all that great. It's never great in the Midwest in terms of weather. But the Punisher,
just in general,
I like Chicago. Anyways, I got to watch the Punisher in advance, reviewing the show for Geeks Worldwide. I really enjoyed it. You can find the review on the website.
You can find our podcast on the website as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I gave it a 9.5 out of 10.
Okay.
I think it's an awesome show. I know you're
one episode in.
You're like most people, just starting.
Yes.
I talked to some other people about it. There are a few more in, but it's a great show. I think it's It might be the best in the Marvel universe. I hadn't watched Daredevil
The
in advance.
Netflix universe, right?
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, the Marvel Netflix universe. I hadn't watched Daredevil yet, so I'm working on that right now. Really good. The third season of it.
Yeah.
I have to watch it now because everything's going to start getting pulled off Netflix because of the cancellations.
Sooner or later, yeah.
Absolutely insane. But what's on the top of your mind, Wes?
Well, I also was watching a little bit of Punisher too. Just a couple notes on that from just one episode in.
I think that's safe.
Everyone he comes in contact with dies. He is a death trap.
Yeah, he's
right?
Frank something else.
Everyone he comes in contact, he's just a death machine.
Such a damn good actor too. I love
John Bernthal. Am I pronouncing that right?
Yeah, you got it right. I used to think it was Barenthal for the longest time. I was adding an I for no reason. I don't know why.
Well, we'll get into this a little bit later down the road, in the longevity of the podcast, but stay woke. John Bernthal and John Bernthal. It's like the Bernstein Bears.
Oh,
a little bit of the Mandela effect there. Which one are we remembering?
Yeah.
But yeah, so the other one is he's a sucker for damsels in distress. Like, and I feel like those are just really poor protagonist tropes that we're kind of picking on here.
Well, but it makes sense with him considering his background and his wife and everything. What happened? He couldn't protect her. I mean, not his fault, but he couldn't protect her. And why wouldn't he want to protect women all the time? And I think most guys that are brought up the old-fashioned way want to protect a woman when she needs to be. I mean, some people look at that as chauvinistic now. I think it's just
you
being respectful.
I think if you're a damsel in distress with raising a family on your own, you're a single mother. I think that you are John Bernthal's type. I think I might be a single mother just to get John Bernthal's attention.
Yeah,
handsome looking man.
Okay, what else you got though besides the Punisher though?
Well, we have the Spider-Man Far From Home trailer, and this I think kind of ties into this week's episode with spoilers versus non-spoilers. I think a lot of people felt a certain type of way about releasing the trailer amidst Avengers Infinity War, Avengers Endgame, I should say.
This is true. Well, my first thing to that is that, yes, it could be spoiling that Spider-Man might be alive or he survives or somehow he comes back from Infinity War. This could also take place before Infinity War. I'm sure they could figure out a way to jam it in there. Don't you think?
I don't buy that, though. I feel like Kevin Feige has already come out and said this takes place after the events, like almost immediately picks up after the fact.
Really?
I believe so.
Okay, see now
I don't know if this is part of the spoilers that I've read.
Right, but see now this is where when people want as much as I write about some of this stuff, I am a regular guy when it comes to this. Is not like the sports stuff where I'm on top of everything. Same with Wes.
Yeah,
we're just like everybody else who loves this stuff now. We just love talking about it, can't get enough of it. Anyways, I digress.
Yeah. And we're consuming it as it comes out for the most part. You get a little advanced screening. You got a little bit of privilege for you.
A little bit. But you know what? I love the Mysterio look. Jake Gyllenhaal, I thought it was going to be absolutely brutal. I don't know why I question Marvel anymore, though.
No, you just let it happen.
They've earned to not be questioned for a while. I mean, Captain Marvel, I'm concerned to some extent because I don't think, but I was the same way with Doctor Strange when Guardians first came out. That was much earlier in the process, but I think that they've done enough where I trust them with Captain Marvel. I do, and in the Spider-Man movie, I think is going to be great. I just figured that Mysterio would be not as good as people would expect him to be.
Yes, now 130 million views in a 24-hour period. I believe it was released on a Friday, Thursday? Last Thursday or Friday.
Either way.
Regardless, 130 million views. Wow. So that is pretty remarkable. So a lot of people are okay with the spoilers. You already mentioned questionable timetable. When does this take place? Is it okay to release this when they did without knowing what the events of Endgame? I love the new suits, the black, the black suit there, and then you get a little bit of the Spider-Man noir, kind of feel to it. It seems like they're crossing over the elementals with the other superheroes, like the Hydro Man, the Molten Man.
I don't know what the hell they're doing there. I'm not a big Spider-Man guy, to be perfectly honest. There's actually another stance on Spider-Man where you and I disagree, just to give people an idea. And this may be an episode one day in itself. First of all, we both grew up on the Spider-Man that has the ability to shoot the webs out of his hands.
Yeah,
the animated series and the Tobey Maguire version.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
That's the Spider-Man. That's my Spider-Man. That's not your Spider-Man.
No, I like the Spider-Man as a tech guy, almost a la
he's a tech guy in both cases.
Son of Tony Stark, if you will.
Yeah, okay.
You know, he's very smart. He knows what to do. It's just I have a very high suspension of disbelief. To think that this guy could shoot webs out of his arms because he gets bit by a spider is a little far-fetched to me.
We're talking about I don't. Honestly, we're gonna save that for another day because I could just. There's like 3 holes I can poke in that right off the top.
Real quick, getting back. We don't want to get straight too far off topic. Why does Aunt May know the identity? I don't understand this choice. Of course they end it in Avengers Home or Spider-Man Homecoming with Aunt May finding out. I don't get why. Like the purpose is she going to be the new guy in the chair?
Well, maybe they look at it
like
now
Into the Spider-Verse movie.
As much as these things aren't realistic, I would think they look at it as how the hell is he going to hide that from his aunt? At some point, he's a kid.
I guess so. Is she going to pack him a ham and cheese sandwich while he's out stopping crime after school? What's going on here?
I don't know what she's going to do about that. But you're asking why did she know? I mean, probably because it's impossible for a 16-year-old kid or however old he is to hide something like that, as smart as he is, because you just lose track of so much. You don't know how to act as an adult.
I don't know. I was 21 years old when my mom found my own stash of porno mags underneath my chair. So I hid that all throughout high school very well, and she had no idea.
And what happened when you were 21?
Well, we had a good laugh about it.
But did you lost track of it?
Well, yeah, I was way off in college. We were cleaning up, and I didn't care about it.
You were a dumb kid. When you're 21, you're still kind of a dumb kid, I would say.
Yeah, but at that point, I had nothing to lose. I wasn't really trying to hide it either. I'm not laying them out on the coffee table for people to see, but I'm not really going out of my way to be like, well, let's hide these, 1995 Playboy edition.
The other thing is, Wes, you're a millennial, and you had porno magazines. Have you heard of the internet? That's what our show's on.
Well, geez, I'm not I'm telling you, I just came from my mom's house and was out, looking at a Playboy pin-up. I can't even get that word out. I'm probably popping my P's too much.
You are, yeah. It's okay. No, you're fine. You're fine. Anything else on Spider-Man Homecoming?
So you don't want to hear about my old porno stash? Okay.
No, I heard.
We can move on.
I think I've heard enough. I've proven my point.
One last thing. There's a great little stinger at the end where Flash Thompson is talking about how much he loves Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And then he kind of gives him that, but he's like, I hate Peter Parker sort of thing.
Yeah.
I think this is maybe you start to see the beginning of Agent Venom being fleshed out. Agent Venom, if you're a fan of the Spider-Man comics at all, is of course Flash Thompson, who is in love with Spider-Man and wants to be Spider-Man, wants to walk in his footsteps, but he has a little bit more of a military background. So maybe this is something where he starts that gets fleshed out a little bit.
I'll tell you what,
way down the road.
This is not my Flash Thompson. My Flash Thompson is Joe Manganiello.
He's kind of a dweeb.
Yes, he's the modern day bully, I think, and that's part of the problem. We don't deal with the modern day bullies as much, but my bully...
We are the modern day bullies, Nick.
Maybe. My bully will forever be Joe Manganiello, who was Tobey Maguire's Flash Thompson, and put a hole in that locker. Dude was an absolute brick house. That's my Flash Thompson.
He had a sick car, too. He had a really sweet ride.
He was the perfect douche. I mean, it was this kid's a little punk, and it's just how can you take him seriously? How can anybody find him funny or anything like that? He's not a good bully. I mean, he does what he's supposed to do. I don't like what he's supposed to do, though. That's the problem.
He's like a twerp.
Yeah, exactly. He's a twerp.
He's a twerp, right? Flash Thompson, officially a twerp.
If you deal with that, if you're a kid and you deal with that kind of bully in real life now, just realize that he's a loser. There's no redeeming qualities to him whatsoever. Not funny, nothing.
But he does have money, though.
Does he have money?
I would imagine so. He goes off and he's
anybody can have money. It doesn't mean that's necessarily a redeeming quality.
Money makes the world go round.
Some of the best people I know are poor.
You're looking at one of them.
Yeah, and I usually look at one in the mirror every morning too.
All right, what do we got here? What comic books are you reading right now?
Okay, so right now, I just reviewed Spawn Kills Everyone 2, issue number 2 last week.
Got my attention. Okay,
and I'm kind of new to Spawn in a way. I've read the old stuff. I'm catching up a lot, but this is a mini-series kind of based off, or not a spin-off, but a reaction to the Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe stuff. They've done it with Punisher and I believe Wolverine as well. And Todd McFarlane obviously knows what he's doing, and he's able to integrate characters from Marvel, DC. He brings in Alien too, which I don't know if Alien is an Image Comics character technically, but he brings in a bunch.
Alien versus Predator.
Yes,
yeah, okay.
Yep, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, who are obviously IDW. So he's mentioned them. He hasn't brought them in yet, but anyways, he's doing that. But at the same time, Spawn's not doing a lot of the killing. In the first issue, Spawn, and if you haven't read it yet, 5 seconds, don't listen. He basically craps a bunch of babies out. And then they go, and he does nothing in the first issue, okay? The entire first issue was a waste of my time, and it's honestly the first thing I've read maybe in the past 6 months where I was like, what the hell is going on? So I was very disappointed with that. The second issue, step in the right direction, though I'm hanging around, but I need more. And there's only 2 more issues.
Okay.
And then this week coming out, Hardcore 2. I'm reviewing that for the for Geeks Worldwide. I've already written that review actually. I can't get into what's in it, but know that I liked the first one a ton, so I can share that. And it's something that you guys may want to pick up if you're looking for something new and different.
Give me a little synopsis. Give me a little taste.
So Hardcore is something that Robert Kirkman had a part in developing. Andy Diggle is the writer. And in the first issue, they kind of lay out what it is the whole system is. And Hardcore is a program where this guy, Agent Drake, is put inside this chamber. And what he can do from that chamber is he can basically not possessed, because it's not like a ghost, but he takes control of another human's body from inside that chamber, and he basically uses them as an avatar. And he gets control of that through other work leading up to it, and there's other people involved, but basically he does that to carry out super secret missions. So it's kind of like, I think they use the term drone.
Okay.
And I love the concept. I love the idea. I think it's very much a worthwhile pickup for people. I would say at least give the first 5 issues a shot. I have only read the first 2, but I think to really know how a series is going to get going, I would say you got to give it at least 5 at the start. Because that's usually what a trade is, 5 to 6 issues.
Quick question.
Yes.
Now, this Agent Drake fellow.
Yes.
If people in the comic book want to get in touch with him, do they have to call 1-800-HOTLINE-BLING, or how does that work?
I don't get that reference. What is that from?
You don't know who Drake is?
Oh, I don't listen to much Drake. Yeah, that's another thing.
Got me on that Hotline Bling?
Yeah.
No? Oh, my God.
Wes is more of a rap guy. I'm more of a rock country guy.
You're more of a country guy.
Dude, I used to bang out to Disturbed as a kid. Disturbed, I liked Escape the Fate. I loved all that stuff.
I think that explains a lot about you.
Yeah,
I just learned a little bit about you right across from the table here as we're doing this live.
I think it does. And the other big thing, too, coming out of this past week, before we get into touching on Aquaman, Rob Liefeld is back in the game at Marvel, which I am stunned by.
Okay.
He created a new X-Man character called Major X. And here's the kind of synopsis from The Hollywood Reporter. Focuses on a mysterious mutant from a realm known as Existence, a place where mutants live in peace and harmony. The problem? His home has disappeared, and he has come to the mainstream Marvel universe for answers. So it's I'm intrigued. The biggest takeaways from seeing the character is I can't see his feet. Rob Liefeld always gets poked at for not being able to draw feet. But my biggest problem with Rob Liefeld is...
He's not a Rex Ryan guy. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly.
That's a sports reference for those people out there.
Well done. That one I got. The other thing is Rob Liefeld does not know how to draw lips on a human being, and that it bothers me. I think he's great outside of that. But Deadpool... You don't have to worry about the lips.
Too big? Too thin? What are we talking?
Way too thin. They're like not even there.
Oh, little bird lips.
It's unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it.
You ever try to kiss a set of bird lips?
No.
Not like actual bird lips.
No, I don't think. I know birds don't have lips, but I don't think.
Well, some people think a cucumber's a better pickle. You know, it's all prerogative there.
Okay, I don't know that. I don't think that I ever have, but I've definitely kissed women that have fuller lips than others.
Yes.
But that bothers me how he does that. So this guy's got a mask, so we're good for now.
Okay.
So
all right.
That's my comic minute for the week.
So you won't be kissing Rob Liefeld anytime soon.
Well, I don't know about Rob Liefeld's lips personally. I'd have to think about that.
Well, I'm just assuming you draw as you see it. You know, you draw how you envision the world, right?
I guess that could be true.
That's how he sees the world. Maybe he has a thing for small lips.
Okay, now we do want to touch on Aquaman too, right?
Yes. Thank you for keeping me on track.
Yeah, no, we're good. We're good. Did you want to? I mean, the numbers. Aquaman has crossed over the 1 billion mark, with a B worldwide, and 300 million domestic. I have yet to see Aquaman.
That makes 2 of us.
Okay, I want to see it though. The criticism that he's not like the Aquaman from comics. Nobody likes Aquaman. That's the whole thing. So
I know.
Why not go and be different? Be a cowboy. Be Khal Drogo, because that's what Jason Momoa plays all the time.
Right. He's kind of like a happy mix between cowboy Khal Drogo.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. I do it. It's great. I have no problem with that. And it seems like look, it's not going to be some Dark Knight or I like Dark Knight
Some brooding Rises. Type of movie.
Yeah, it's fun. It looks like it's out there. I'm going to make a priority of seeing it. Okay, I want to see it. I just have not made time for it with the Celtics season, unfortunately.
Yeah, we got that going on
and
too.
And the Patriots.
Well, the Patriots. That's all they do.
Both of those. So, but I mean, I'm glad to hear that it's having success and that DCEU has something to be happy about with Shazam coming out in a few months, which I'm also excited
Which
about.
I'm actually excited about, too. Aquaman, $1 billion. You think about the movies that break the $1 billion mark, you got, almost any Marvel movie, I feel like, especially the Infinity Wars.
Black
you got
Panther.
Black Panther,
Yep.
Guardians, I would imagine, at some point.
Might have,
maybe 2.
Infinity War was $2 billion.
Yeah. I don't think that even belongs in the same sentence as these other $1 billion movies.
No.
I think the first Iron Man made $1 billion.
It might have. I'll have to. I'll
Maybe
look at
Iron
that while
Man
you're-
3 or something like that. But anyway, I don't think any of those belong in that class at all. I think DCEU is nice, just fluff.
I think
Farter.
I think Wonder Woman is.
Is that a term? Farter?
Fodder?
Fodder.
Yeah, fodder.
farter.
I think farter might be a word. Technically, I don't think it's one that's used often.
That's what my fiance uses to describe me.
Oh, okay. That's what. There you go. That's why
I'm a little
happened.
gassy more often than not.
But I liked Justice League, and I won't go and make a case that was a quote good movie. But Wonder Woman, I liked Wonder Woman.
It dragged.
Yeah, that's another movie.
A movie that kind of insists upon itself too.
Oh my god, it's the action. How do you not love Gal Gadot?
I love Gal Gadot. I never said that.
That
I
adds
didn't
to
think
it.
Well, if that's the only redeeming quality.
No, it's not. That is a very tiny. I would say it's about.
It's a pseudo-sexist movie.
15% of why I like that movie is Gal Gadot and her appearance.
Yeah.
And the fact that she's gorgeous. That's it.
Stay woke.
15%.
Pseudo-sexist movie.
Okay, so speaking of staying woke.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any mind-altering moments for us, Wes?
Yeah, mind-altering moment. Again, we got some working titles here. It's a mind-altering moment, mind-altering minute, stay woke of the week, Wes's stay woke of the week. There's a lot of in play here.
Trying to keep mind and change in there.
Yes. Okay. All right. Yeah. So
you had a couple good ones there. We'll go back to it.
A couple weeks ago, my brother went off to the Philippines for 2 weeks, right before the Christmas time, and I offered to watch his dog for him. Very nice, kind of terrier beagle mix named Chelsea. I, of course, have a dog as well.
Of course.
A little golden retriever, good old American pup named Cody. But this dog, Chelsea, very weird. She would wipe her private parts, what I thought was her butt, but it was the other orifice. I get it. Yeah, okay. I feel like orifice was the bad choice there. But she is wiping everything on the carpet and just kind of dragging her butt along the carpet. And
were there skid marks?
No skid marks, no stains. So thankfully,
you got to tell me what techniques she uses because I always have a problem with that.
Yeah. No, it's.
I don't have a dog. I just have a problem with that myself.
Well, you can't wipe from the front. That's probably step number one.
Yeah, that's.
but step. Okay, so back to the story. So, my fiance Julia and I were talking about this and how weird it was. And then the next day, we didn't Google search it. We didn't type in symptoms of this or how to fix it or anything like that. The next day, she goes on her Facebook, and what does she see? Dog wipes for dogs who wipe their butt across the floor.
It's ridiculous.
Now, how did the algorithm of Facebook or Instagram or social media or whatever was involved where she saw this know that she was looking this up? She never once, like I said, typed everything. It was the first time we had the discussion,
Right.
And a day later it comes up.
Because there's something in the phones, dude, or computers.
Mark
Something.
Zuckerberg, that robot
Bastard.
freak bastard. Yeah, we can say that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you can say that on radio.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. I'm still finding out the FCC rules and all that good stuff.
Well, thankfully, we're only on YouTube right now, so we're fine.
Okay,
but
well,
definitely,
yeah.
we're definitely okay in that realm.
He's definitely listening to us, right? They all are. It's the same thing.
Well, he's a robot.
My fiance also talking about how she doesn't want to have like neck wrinkles. Like that's like one of her big fears in life.
Oh, okay.
Not big. Well, it's up there. It's on the list.
I understand why wrinkles would be a fear for most women, but neck wrinkles is kind of random.
She's probably going to kill me the fact that I'm bringing up all her insecurities right now. But the next day, when she sees something
Wes is lucky to
on
have
her
you.
social media, yeah, it definitely outkicked my coverage there.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you don't be so quick to agree to that. Just maybe hold off a second or two next time.
I stand by it.
But she finds an advertisement. I really hate you, Nick. With the things to like reduce lines in your neck. Again, not a Google search thing. Just talking about it.
Yep.
Doesn't that freak you out?
Oh yeah, absolutely, 100%. There's chips in your phone or something, dude. It is BS. and it pisses me off.
I don't like it.
I don't like that at all. Why, I mean, I get you want to have effective marketing. I can appreciate that. I mean, you absolutely want to have an idea of who your product caters to. But that's come on, that's just too far.
They know the algorithm to my brain. Like their algorithm knows the algorithm to my brain.
Do you have an Alexa?
No, I don't.
Okay.
No Alexa there. The guy in the background here, by the way, is our fantastic producer, Tim Weisberg.
Oh, wait, I think I pushed the wrong one. There we go.
We get this going?
Yeah, I think Tim's on now.
Tim, can you hear us?
Oh, it wasn't.
Yeah,
it wasn't important enough to go on mic for.
Oh, sorry.
I just was going to say, if you had an Alexa, then I could understand Alexa listening in to your conversation.
Right. Yeah.
That would make more sense.
And by the way,
bitch.
everybody who is listening to this show right now, their Alexas just went off when I said that. So.
Oh, that's true. That's a good point. But I guess that it works the same thing with Siri. I rarely use Siri.
Why did their Alexas go off if you said Alexa?
Because you say, "Hey Alexa," like I just did, and then they're like, "Oh, hey, what's going on?"
They go off. They're not really that voice.
they're
not very loyal to
gotcha.
their owners.
So
Right.
they're not that smart.
Yeah,
Got
they're like a puppy when somebody else has a pepperoni.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay.
Or like me. I'm a big pepperoni fiend.
Good to know, Tim.
Yeah.
Thank you. And Tim, of course, of WBSM, who is kind enough to be hosting our show, and of Spooky South Coast.
Yeah.
You can hear Tim's Spooky South Coast on Saturdays.
10 p.m.
Yep, right here on it's on the WBSM channel, and of course it's on everywhere you can hear podcasts. You find it on YouTube and everything.
Yeah, just give a good old Google search to Spooky South Coast. You'll pop up. You'll see Tim's handsome mug come up there a couple times, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Now, Tim is a good friend of ours, and he is helping us out immensely by getting this started, by giving us such advanced tech. Advanced tech in terms of what we're used to using.
I feel like
for
a
our
regular,
podcasting.
Tony Stark here.
Exactly, and Tim's telling us how this needs to get fixed and that and improved and blah blah blah.
Did you understand anything he was saying? Because I didn't.
I mean, I'm the one that has to do the board. You heard the beginning of the show,
That's
which,
true.
by the way, what happened before when we did the dry run, the same thing happened. I tested it like 3 times before,
Yeah.
and then we got it started, and then the audio clip just didn't play. So I don't understand it, but
That's life.
yeah, it's just the way it goes. But we'll get that ironed out as we go along. But like I said, Tim is a friend of ours. You and I are friends. And,
Yeah. Well, friends I would use as a loose term, Nick.
I think. Is it after the fiance comment?
Yeah. I'm going to rescind your invitation to my wedding.
Oh, okay. Well,
Friend is a term that gets thrown around an awful lot these days, Nick.
the first time that I would say this, the first seed I would say that was planted for this show.
We were going up to see a Avengers Infinity War preview kind of event.
Yeah, it was the hashtag Dork Podcast. We can say that.
we can say that. Okay.
Yes, I got it. Don't worry. I have a feel for those kind of things. I'm not worried about it. We were talking. I can't remember who drove, but we were talking about.
I think I drove up
a bunch of different stuff, and neither of us had read the Infinity War books. I read much more of the new stuff. The old stuff, I like the art, but I don't appreciate it as much, and I think that's why I'm not as drawn to it. Now, don't get me wrong. I like old Spawn stuff because McFarlane's an amazing artist. Anyways,
Sure, yeah.
Anyways, when we were talking about it, the main topic, the change my mind topic of today,
Yes,
was kind of brought up in the course of those things. Do you want to share how that conversation
I think
went?
we're going up there, and like I said, this was just an event to kind of hype up Avengers Infinity War ahead of its release. I think it was like the weekend before. So we were going up. We were big fans of the Dork podcast and Mac and Goo and the Boxers podcast and all that stuff. And they were kind of all meeting together for like a little meet and greet at a bar, or was it a brewery? I guess
Something
up
like that,
around
yeah.
the Boston area.
Had a nice
And we were
food cart.
talking about Avengers Infinity War, and I think expressed to you how I couldn't wait for the movie to come out, so I had done a little digging.
Not an exaggeration at all. You couldn't wait.
Yeah, well, that sums up most of my sex life, actually.
Oh.
So it comes in handy there. Maybe it says more about me than anything. But anyway, I just couldn't wait. So I did a little digging. Didn't have to dig all that much, actually. It turns out Reddit is a great resource, and not just like a nasty cesspool that you might think it would be. There's actually some like good information out there.
Is it worse or better than Twitter in terms of the cesspooliness?
I think if you seek it out, you could find it, or you can get into like little rabbit holes and stuff. But I specifically just use Reddit through Google.
Okay.
And then finding the topics that I want to find through that. But
Quick idea. I think Scotty Young is still writing Deadpool right now. I could be wrong, but whoever is, you should absolutely create the character Cesspool to be Deadpool's new rival. They had something stupid recently. Cesspool. That might work. Anyways.
I like that, Cesspool.
Back to you, Wes.
Sounds like a real shitty character.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
We need to get like a drum sound in here for all my witty one-liners here.
Hopefully we don't have too many of those.
But I looked ahead to see plot leaks and possible spoilers, and there were varying ones, and some of which were true and some of which were not.
How many would you say?
Blew your mind.
How many would you say?
Well, between like the YouTube videos and like the fan theories and stuff,
Like
I can't keep track of it.
Percentages, I mean, sorry.
That got right?
Yeah, that were right.
Oh, I don't know. That's such a long time ago.
That's fine.
My brain cells are rotted.
You can't give me a ballpark like 50-50?
I don't know. Anything I'd say would just be making up.
Okay.
Would you want me to make it up? I'll say 45. I don't know.
Okay, I can live with that. 45% was right.
Coming back like the 4 or 5.
Okay.
I hate
Anyways,
to play games with you. That's Jay-Z, by the way.
Okay, I didn't get that.
Yeah,
Most people will get it, I'm sure, that listen to this.
Jay-Z, popular artist.
He's fairly popular, I would say. I'm more of a Brantley Gilbert kind of guy. Do you know who that is?
No.
Yeah. Okay. See, that's a problem. That's more of a problem than me not being a Jay-Z fan.
Well, okay. All right. We're getting off topic. We're getting off topic. Don't talk about the god Hove. Okay. We can't.
These references.
I'll walk out of this damn studio right now.
You damn whippersnappers in your fancy rap music.
Yeah, that's right. Get off my lawn, man. So we were starting to talk about, me looking into spoilers. You thought that was crazy.
Insane.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane.
I don't see what's so crazy about it. What's wrong with getting a little taste, a little teaser to know what to expect going into a movie?
There's a difference between a teaser, Wes, and a straight up spoiler. Like me telling you that. Okay, so looking at I looked at a few movies where there were like twists, endings, and if you haven't seen any of these movies, they have been out plenty long enough. If you don't know that they have a surprise ending, I'd be stunned.
This is a spoiler, non-spoiler podcast. So we're going to spoil some things here. I think you should know that from the title of the episode.
In general, we're going to be spoiling things. But Infinity War, major spoilers in that. The ending, huge spoiler. It's stunning. I mean, everybody was blown away. And never mind that, Gamora was mind-blowing.
Sure.
Loki was less surprising. Heimdall was surprising, but at the same time, it's
you get
not...
the Red Skull coming in there with a nice little cameo.
Exactly. But the biggest one is the snap. You get that spoiled for you, and who dies?
Yeah.
The whole movie's ruined.
I heard varying people. It was different. It wasn't the exact same ones.
Okay. All right. So you knew the snap was going to happen and that people were absolutely going to die.
What did you expect was going to happen? It was Avengers Infinity War with Thanos, and the whole marketing campaign was getting the glove, the gauntlet.
But he could have gotten, and they could have stopped him, or they could have gotten to a point where you know what could have happened was that he could have gotten the glove, and then nothing happened right away, or it could have gotten like 4 out of the 6 stones. My
question to you is: Are you a cook? You cook your home? You're a recent homeowner, right?
Yes. Yes.
All right. So have you broken in that kitchen?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So you chefed up a little bit. When you are simmering something on the stove to make sure it's to taste, you do what?
This is your first argument.
Yes. Yes. This is sad. Is it just because I'm hungry?
Did you not eat before first of all, did you not eat before the show?
Well, I had a little meal prep, but I'm kind of going a low carb thing. I just booked my honeymoon, so I want to look right. So I might be a little like antsy. You know, I'm a little on edge right now.
That's good, but I get a taste of food.
So you want to be able to know what you're going to be getting into for the full meal.
Sure.
And
that's
I understand
we're talking about
what the trailers are for. Yeah, but sometimes that's just not enough. So you go back for the second taste.
That's when they come up with like 2 or 3.
And then you go with the third case. But it's all the same stuff. Like you're just getting like the first 5 minutes of the movie or like stuff that is not important anyway. That's my argument number 1.
Okay.
My second argument is I want to be able to go through in the movie experience for these big time movies like these Marvel movies, like Game of Thrones, for example, or True Detective, which is something we'll get into later on in the episode. I'm a big fan of, but I want to be able to enjoy the movie at its fullest extent the first time around. And that means picking up on Easter eggs, picking up on callbacks, picking up on different, understanding the motives of the characters.
Yeah, okay.
The true motives of the character, getting to the depths of who they are as a person and an individual. Not just some skin level, oh, they look good and tight sort of stuff. Okay?
Are you criticizing my take on Wonder Woman?
That may be a little callback, yeah.
Wow.
That'd have been a little callback.
There's nothing wrong with appreciate. You know why I like this stuff?
Beauty is more than skin deep.
Yeah, that's
deep.
fine. I appreciate the reason I like all this stuff is I appreciate seeing jacked individuals fight one another and sometimes have superpowers. That's also why I generally don't like the tech characters. Like, I like Iron Man, don't get me wrong, and none of this is really possible without him. Respect, but I'm not a big Iron Man guy. I never will.
Oh, Iron Man's my favorite Marvel character.
Oh, get out of here with that. No.
Oh, he is the linchpin. He's the cog that makes the whole thing go.
I can't argue that, but I can argue that he's not the best Marvel character. That's different. Now, MCU, that's tough, but Marvel character in general, I'd go with Wolverine 100%. He is the best far and away. Not my favorite, but the best objectively.
Well, maybe I misspoke. My favorite Avenger.
Okay.
Because Wolverine is up there. I really do love Spider-Man too. But back to the topic at hand. Again, love being able to see all the Easter eggs. Like, if you're a fan of the Spider-Man Far From Home trailer, they have all these nice little Easter eggs with allusion to comic book episodes, so you can go back and see, oh, this one is PSASM or whatever 103, and it's on the cover is Hydro Man, and it's like, oh my God, Hydro Man's going to be in, it's all these little winks and nods to the comic books or the original fans and stuff that if you get it, it's there. But you have to go back and watch it otherwise, like a couple of times. But upon first viewing, I want to be able to soak all of that up.
So this is a message real quick to your fiance out there if she's listening. Wes does not like surprises.
No, so
don't throw him surprise parties anymore because he wants to know what's coming all the time.
Here's the thing.
Honestly, kind of sounds a little bit like a control freak if you're asking me.
I don't like being spoiled for Christmas presents or anything like that, but it's just with these big
You mean you don't want to unwrap it just a little bit?
No. My fiance
see
does
if it's
that.
Fragile? Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She finds receipts and stuff. She knew that I was proposing the day of to her when that happened, well in advance. I was over there shit my pants,
and she
so
still
nervous.
Yes?
No, it's the jury's still out on that one. I'm hopeful. I got my fingers crossed.
What are your other points?
Speculation. Speculation is fun. That's an actual thing that I wrote down there. Speculation is fun. It allows for podcasts like this very one right here.
Yes,
so then you can bring up different theories and stuff. So if you do hear a spoiler ahead of time, you say, oh, well, what do you think about this? And then it just opens up into a different realm, like fan fiction almost, which is also a fun thing, can be better than the real thing. Mm-hmm. Because some of these people have, let's face it, no time in their hands, and this is what...
Right, yeah, I understand that.
I also think how the story is told or shown is greater than the story itself.
No joke. In my notes, I said you aren't in it. You aren't in it for the story if you want spoilers. You care about how it is told.
Yeah, that's exactly. Well, we agree.
That's how Wes feels about it.
Yeah,
100%.
That's absolutely how I feel.
But you don't care about. How do you not care about the story though in the course of this things and being surprised along the way?
That's part of it. But that's just the bare bones. I like knowing the skeleton
you want spark
of the
notes
story
before you read the story every single time.
How else did you get through college, Nick?
I just didn't read the books.
Well,
yeah, C's that get degrees.
Spoken like a true athlete over there.
Oh yeah, 100%. No, I read. I would say I read most of the books, but that's why I took history courses because you can afford to have spark notes and things like that. It was history and then journalism. And journalism, contrary to what people think, there's not a ton of reading that we have to do. We read articles that are max 2,000 words. It's like nothing in a book.
I write all day. The last thing I want to do is read a book.
I love writing. I love writing. I love talking. But yeah, I don't. Well, I see. But I like the comic books because it has the imagery and all that. Anyways. Do you have any other points before I poke holes in this? Ridiculous theory?
Most of the spoilers I see are plot leaks. Just the bare bones of the actual story. But how they get there is what interests me. So even if they don't come true or anything like that, it's interesting to see, what would have been like if it went there? Or if they done this, this is how this would have turned out.
Okay.
So, like I said, I've already read plot leaks for Game of Thrones. Very interesting, but final season, I'm not sure if you're a fan. I don't think you are. You are. Okay.
Yep.
I technically kind of know what happens.
Oh. Okay.
There was one where the season came out, I think this was 2 seasons ago, where they released the first 5 episodes the night of the season premiere. Mm-hmm. I watched all 5 episodes in one sitting. I was up to 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning.
Okay. So
now, what was the downside about that? Is I had no one to talk to about it.
Yeah, that's definitely a downside, but I'd say that's the least of your concerns. So first of all, I understand if someone wants to read a book, comic book, whatever the original medium is that story came out on. I don't think that counts as spoiling everything else because it's the original. So if you see the movie and then the book came out first, then I would say you kind of spoiled the book for yourself, and it definitely is going to ruin the book because the book always has more detail no matter what. And
then you already have the image in your head of the movie going into the book.
That is the one thing about seeing what the characters, because don't get me wrong, I think that's my biggest problem when I read a book is that I don't know, I can't always create the characters in my head. I can be artistic with the English language when I'm writing, certainly not when I'm talking, but when I'm writing, but when
it's a good thing you're in radio.
Yeah, I think everybody who's listening to us now knows by then that I'm going to stumble here and there along the way.
Oh yeah, that makes two of us. Yeah,
exactly, and everybody does when they do this. Anyways, so when it comes to creating a character, I'm not artistic when it comes to drawing. So I have a tougher time with that, and I think that's why I've taken to comic books like I have because I appreciate the stories. At the same time, I know what these characters look like. If I went and read a book, like an actual novel on Jason Todd, Red Hood, who is my guy, 100%,
sure. Yep.
I think I'd be very much entertained by that. I would miss the action, but I could probably sit down and read that and say, okay, yeah. So those are kind of taken out the window when it comes to the spoiler stuff. But my biggest thing is, Wes, you don't like to be surprised when it comes to all this stuff. I'm watching Infinity War, and I have an idea.
I'm still surprised. I was still blown away by everything.
How can you be surprised about okay, you're surprised with the action maybe, but how are you surprised with the story? How are you surprised when you know roughly, well, let's say realistically that the spoilers were probably 25% right that you saw, okay? Yeah. I know we don't know the exact number, but pay attention to that for the future because I am curious how much stuff actually gets out. Yeah, be interested. Anyways, if 25% of it was right, but there are significant portions, like tell me one spoiler that you knew going into that. Can you think of one or two?
Avengers Infinity War. I knew
big ones.
I knew some people died. I knew the snap was happening. Yeah.
Look, we all thought Loki was going to die. I did not know Gamora was going to die.
Yeah.
I had my picks, but I didn't know. I had no idea who it was going to be, and I didn't know if anybody was going to die for sure.
If I remember correctly, I think one of the main ones that stick out in my mind was that most of the original Avengers died, or it was Tony or Captain. Steve Rogers dying, like one of those two. So I think, while the gist of it was there, that people were getting snapped, and you had that already kind of leaked. Mm-hmm. Who and what and how and when weren't there. So that's what I mean by you're getting the bare bones of the story going into it. So yes, the biggest surprise is taken away from the snap, for example.
Yeah.
But who's involved, how it happens, at what point in this? I knew about Stormbreaker, and I knew about Thor going off with Rocket Raccoon to the giant dwarf.
I wouldn't want to know that going into it. Rocket's the man, by the way.
Yeah.
Rocket might be my favorite MCU character.
Oh, yeah.
I like Winter Soldier a lot, but I feel like they haven't done enough with him, and there's a lot more.
He's fallen off big time.
Yeah, they just made him so soft. It was just always like,
Well, he's signed up for so many movies. I think he's just burnt out. I think he's just going through the motions now.
I just wonder if that's how Sebastian Stan is. Anyways, I digress. So first of all, the surprises you take out of it. And then on top of that, between the two of us, when it comes to this kind of stuff, who's more pessimistic, would you say, when it comes to the entertainment world? I think I'm more optimistic.
Yeah, I think I'm pessimistic. I think I have a little bit of masshole in me. I think that's a little bit in all of us.
You're certainly more positive in other realms of life than I am. I know that for a fact.
Well, I'm putting on a good front for you then.
Okay. Well, yes, you do put on a front at times, because you do sometimes tell me behind the scenes when other people step away. That's fair enough. Okay, but either way, you're not a negative person, I wouldn't say.
I try to remain positive.
So but when it comes to this stuff, you are a little more pessimistic, and I think that's because you have these expectations going into these movies because of the spoilers that you already know about. It's like, why isn't this happening? Why isn't that happening? This should happen. And it's like the people who read the book and say, why isn't this happening? Why isn't that happening? But
the book was so much better.
But they're going based off the original source material. You're going based off of BS leaks that you found in the dark masses of the internet.
They could be BS. They could not be.
They could not be, but
you don't know until you're going into it. That's the great. So it's still kind of a surprise. It's still a gamble. Nothing's guaranteed here. I'm not saying this is the writer of the script handed me the script. I'm going through page 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So among the movies that I have listed here, I'm just gonna rattle these off. Okay, Tell me if there's any you haven't seen, because we won't touch on those.
Okay.
So obviously Infinity War, Shutter Island. Have you seen that?
Yes, but that's so long ago, though.
Okay. No, it's relevant for this conversation. Fight Club.
Yeah.
Okay. Sixth Sense.
Yes.
Okay. I actually didn't see Sixth Sense, the whole thing, but I've seen enough of it to know what's going on.
And I'm sure you know.
Yes, of course. Usual Suspects.
Yes.
Okay. And actually, because I know what happens in The Sixth Sense, that's why I've never made a point to watch it all in one sitting, as much as it's an awesome movie. Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
Okay. The Prestige.
Yes.
Okay. Prestige.
I like that movie a
right?
lot.
Yeah, it's a great one. Okay. Now, Empire, I would say Empire and Infinity War are the two outliers in this, because they're awesome movies on their own. They're not as dependent on the twists. I think the other ones are good movies, but
But they're built around.
If you ruin that twist before, then it's over. Then you're never gonna fully appreciate that movie.
I'm surprised you only have one M. Night Shyamalan movie.
I didn't want to get. I saw The Village when I was looking.
That's a good one.
Or is it Village? It's The
yeah,
Village.
Yeah, The Village. Yeah.
That's. I don't think that one was as well received. I don't know why.
I was disappointed by the ending, but I thought for the most part of that movie, I was hooked on it.
Right.
But
It was an interesting concept. But
I think I see where you're going with this.
right. If you find out Shutter Island's twist before you get to see the full thing, ruined. Sixth Sense is the best example in my case. I have not watched it in a full sitting. I've heard from my mother, my father, and multiple people. It's a great movie.
I don't see. This is where I disagree with you.
Fight Club, dude. I mean, come on. That's
Yeah, but you go back and watch those movies looking for things like, oh my God, that's how I know they weren't exactly talking to one. They were never acknowledging other people in Fight Club.
But you've got to see it how it's fully supposed to be absorbed the right way the first time. If you know going into it, it's just never going to be the same. It's like, oh, I'm looking for this, I'm looking for that, and now you're trying to dissect it from the very first moment you set eyes on it, instead of just sitting back and being entertained. That's what this is all about, is being entertained.
Yeah, but entertainment is not synonymous with being surprised at the end of the day.
I think that can be a portion of it, though, and you just don't, like I said, you do not like being surprised.
I do. I was surprised for my 30th birthday. That was a very fun time. Well, actually, that was kind of awkward, to be honest with you.
Was it? Oh.
Yeah.
Was
yeah,
it?
it was. Yeah. I'm not, okay.
I'm sorry I missed that, by the way.
Big surprise. Yeah, well, that just tells you how loosely of the term friendship really is.
This is fair.
That's a callback to an earlier joke.
I think our friend... Thank you for keeping everybody updated.
I will. I will be keeping everyone up to the minute on all my jokes.
I think our friendship has grown quite a bit since then, in all fairness. Because I think we saw the pod. That's when we went after the fact. We went to the podcast.
Yeah, I think that sounds about right.
You're 31 now, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Easy.
yeah.
Easy
So
with that.
it's been a little while. Sorry.
Don't come out and dox me like that.
Yeah. I'm not as old as you, but I feel old, just so you know. But I'm like 4 years younger than you. Whatever. Who's keeping count?
Yeah, clearly.
But look, Fight Club is the first one, in Shutter Island. Those two right there. The Prestige, that one I don't know. See, that one's a tough one, but I feel like when I saw it, at the end when I found out, I was still like, what the hell did I just watch?
But see, like, I'm a fan of those surprises when I go through and see it for the first time for movies that I'm not like big events, like Return of the Jedi, or Empire Strikes Back, or Avengers: Infinity War, or whatever these Marvel movies are. But for these movies that are just like, oh, maybe I'll go see a movie. This looks good, like that. Like, I do kind of like to be surprised. But for these big, most anticipated events of the season, of the summer, of the year, of the last 18 years, in some situations.
Yeah. That's still.
I can't wait.
So you pick and choose when you like your sport. You can't wait. You are a child who never grew up then.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if
sports.
If someone spoiled Usual Suspects for you? Take out the whole Spacey thing. I understand the dude's a scumbag and everything like that. But could you imagine if that was ruined for you before you saw it?
No, I don't really care.
You wouldn't care if someone ruined Usual
Suspects? No, that's my whole point. I don't care.
It's a great movie.
That's my whole point.
How could you appreciate that movie if once you know going into it, spoiler alert, that Kevin Spacey is Kaiser Soze?
Because I'm not an idiot. I can understand, wow, that's a great twist at the end of the movie. That's cool. I didn't oh, wow, that's nice. Look how they wrapped it all up in the end.
But see, that's
the surprise is not the linchpin of a movie.
I would say all these movies here, I haven't seen Sixth Sense, but based on what everybody says, and I think you'd agree with me, these are great movies.
Yeah, but you go back and watch The Sixth Sense because you want to see if Bruce Willis and the kid and the mother are talking in the same room at the time, and you've realized that no one ever acknowledges one another.
But what I'm saying is you would never do that if you, like me, if you knew what the twist was already, because you would never appreciate that film for what it is. I can go and watch Tyler Durden punch in Edward Norton's face a million times. A, because Brad Pitt is sexy as hell,
Yeah,
and
he's got
B,
nice abs.
because it is an awesome movie. And the twist, I know the twist at the end, but the thing is, I will always hold that movie close to me because I was blown away the first time I saw it and realized, oh my God, spoiler alert, they're the same person. He's just friggin' insane. He's absolutely bat crap crazy.
Yeah, and I like those moments. So those are cool moments to have. But
Sorry, I
for
gotta pick
these
up my
big,
notebook.
most anticipated events, I feel like I'm running out of points, so I'm just going to repeat them.
No, we're only.
I want to be surprised. I don't want to be surprised. Wait, did you just...
I think I just changed his mind. It's the
Oh
first
my
episode.
God, yeah, you just incepted me. Another little bit of a twist movie right there. Do we end the podcast now?
I
Is
actually haven't.
Oh, shit.
Well, it was
this
fun while
is,
it lasted. This is a good show. This is a good idea. But in the end, I won.
Okay. Well,
So I think it's over.
we're going to let the people decide.
By the way,
because we are...
I haven't seen Inception yet. I know there's a
podcasting
twist.
people.
I don't know the twist in Inception, but I haven't seen that yet. Believe it
Oh,
or not.
man, if you want a real, just like mind-altering experience...
Visually, yeah.
that's
I
the
wish I
movie
had
for
seen
you.
it in theaters because, like,
Did you see what I did there with the mind
yes,
and like to
yes,
change my mind?
I got it. I
And,
just
yeah.
it was. Oh no, I didn't get that.
Do you want me to run that through you one
No,
more time?
no, I got it
because
now.
mind and mind-altering, and the podcast is called Change My Mind.
And then that movie is all about being inside people's minds, right?
Inside people's minds. I just incepted that sentence.
You know what, Wes? You
Ew,
almost
that doesn't sound
distracted
right. myself
and our listeners from the fact that I incepted you. So I just want everybody
Well,
to
I
take
was
note
just
of
trying
that.
to throw people off the scent, but
The, the whole thing was that we were never going to agree on this stuff, and I already won. It's already over. Anyways,
no.
do you have any closing points to this? Because I've
Yes.
said what I need to say. Go ahead.
Yes, my closing points
Because we got to
is
get
that
to what else is on our mind.
all this is taken with the caveat of I usually like to enter the movie theater in some sort of altered state. And really just really just like submerge myself in the moment and get wrapped up in the screen. So sometimes I bring a little nips in me, a little bit of what have you, a little bit of this.
Yeah, keep it at nips. Keep it at nips.
And I think that also plays in the part that I will forget what happens in anything that I read as far as spoilers or plot leaks or anything like that. So it's like I am seeing it for the first time in a lot of ways.
I'm glad you saved that towards the end because I could see how that would make a little bit of a difference. Oh man,
Just really submerge yourself into the moment, you know?
Oh, that definitely. I can see how that would mess with your mind a little bit.
Well, open.
See what I did there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, no, yeah. I'm on board.
This, by the way,
Quick
everybody,
as a whip.
that stuff's not going to stop. We're not going to make any changes when it comes to that.
What's that? Bad jokes?
Our mind and changes callback, which I made
Yes.
another change callback there. by the
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
No
No, I
changes.
think that's like a possible T-shirt.
So,
That's
Wes,
just throwing that one out there.
now obviously we're not just thinking about the show topic coming into this. There's a lot going on out there. I've been watching The Punisher. What else has been on your mind in this nerd geek realm, whatever you want to call it?
Yeah, I think I got to pay off this big market tease that I had earlier in the episode here. True Detective Season 3 is out on HBO. Or if you have a pirated Fire Stick like I do, you can just watch it.
Is that something you should tell people?
Wow, what are they going to do? They're already listening to me on my phones anyway.
This is a good point. They are.
So what's the difference of what media I'm putting it out on
They
right now?
already know, yeah.
True Detective
Nothing
Season
is
3
sacred.
starring Marshala Ali. I think I pronounced his name.
Okay.
From Moonlight fame. Fantastic actor. And of course, Stephen Dorff that you know from Blade.
Oh, yeah.
Blade fame, yeah.
Yep.
Fantastic vampire in that movie. But this is going back to its roots of the first season of True Detective, which absolutely had me wrapped around their finger. I was just balls deep in in that first season. I could probably watch it like 4 or 5 times. Just fantastic television. Matthew McConaughey, Woody Harrelson at their finest, like peak game, like Jordan in '96, like peak of their performance sort of thing. And this is a little bit of a return. I thought season 2, there's an anthology series, so they don't really carry, one season to the next. Season 2 kind of strays away. It's a little bit lackluster. I like the subject matter, kind of like this Pizzagate sort of thing, which is worth a Google.
Okay.
Kind of harkening back to Alex Jones and Turning the Frogs Gay.
Oh.
Not
And
exactly.
we come full circle.
Not exactly true, I would say, but I think it's an interesting theory nonetheless.
I was just going to say, you might not want to encourage people to Google Pizzagate.
Well, you know, it's
You don't really want to have that in your browser history.
well,
Oh,
just,
there you
just
go.
go incognito mode. It never shows up in your browser. Trust me, I do it all the time. It works.
Doesn't really work.
In-
Just so
Well, you know,
Incognito
we'll
mode
let the people decide.
is magical. Thank you, though, Dad. I appreciate that very
Yes.
much.
But this season is 3 episodes in. I am once again all in. It's back to that season 1 format of multiple timelines and using multiple timelines to tell a religious, satanic, cultish type of murder, kidnapping. We're not really sure yet. There's a lot of unanswered questions, a lot of red herrings going around, throws in a lot of different twists and turns. The cinematography is amazing. It's taking place out in the Ozarks and the Arkansas area, so it's back into that kind of southern, central United States where the first season took place down in the bayou.
Sounds like such a good show. I wish I had more time to watch, because I didn't watch the first one. That came out when I was in college.
Oh yeah, so I would watch that one first,
And then skip the second one altogether?
yeah, because like I said, they don't really
Vince
piggyback on one
Vaughn,
another. Yeah,
Rachel
Vince
McAdams.
Vaughn, Taylor Kitsch,
He freaking
Rachel
sucks.
McAdams.
Taylor Kitsch is the biggest disappointment ever, because he had, was it John Carter, right? And I don't know why.
Oh,
that was,
he was in John Carter.
That was supposed to
Ugh.
be a thing, I think, and then that sucked. And then there was Battleship, and I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that sucked too.
Was that with Rihanna?
I think
Battleship?
so. And it had the guy.
She's a tour de force in that movie.
Oh, who's the guy? I can't. Wow, he's the guy. He's in True Blood, and I can't remember what else. And yeah, I fully admit that I've
Aaron
watched True Blood.
Skarsgård?
Yes, Eric.
How did I know that? I
think
never
it's-
even
I think-
watched
I
True
think it's
Blood.
Eric Skarsgård. I think
Oh
it's,
my God.
or Alexander Skarsgård. That's what it is.
Yeah,
Alexander
it's one of the
Skarsgård.
Skarsgårds.
Tarzan. He is. But anyways, that sucked. And then he was the absolute worst as Gambit. People can say what they want about the Wolverine Origins movie and say bad, whatever. The biggest problem with it is that Gambit sucks. He's an amazing character.
Well, I know he's near and dear to your heart.
Oh yeah, right there. It's Red Hood for DC, and overall #1, and then Gambit and Marvel, 100%. He's my guy. Anyways, is there anything else about True Detective?
Well, no, I would say just leave it at that. I think it's a good show. If you like the murder mysteries, if you like a lot of those making a murderer type of like documentaries that are on Netflix, it's kind of along those lines. Fictional story, of course. But speaking of documentaries, Fire Fraud on Hulu or Fire, the Greatest Party That Never Happened on Netflix. These are 2 documentaries that just dropped this past weekend on the... I don't know if the cluster F.
It's
I
fine.
can't. It doesn't really work like
Yeah,
that.
that's fine.
But it was an abomination of a festival put on by this complete douche. Reminds me of like 1,000 people that I went to Hofstra with. His name is Billy McFarland, and of course Ja Rule. Mm-hmm. It's murder, Ja Rule.
Yeah, I'm not a big Ja Rule guy.
Well, you got to know a little bit of Ja Rule, though.
Not
no?
knowingly. I probably heard it, but I don't.
Wow, that's too bad.
Like-
You missed out on your childhood.
Fluster Cluck is what you meant.
Flustercluck.
Yes.
Yes. Oh man, I could not say that twice. That is some type of tongue twister there. But basically, what this goes into is how this guy Billy McFarland frauded out. I don't even know. It goes into very deep layers about how he tried to put on this festival, and it was just a complete shit show. They had no experience doing so. He's in jail right now for fraud. Ja Rule's still skating out there scot-free. Him and Irv Gotti. That's right.
Okay.
Irv Gotti was the Suge Knight to Ja Rule's Tupac Shakur.
Okay, gotcha.
If you will. But anyway, so it goes into all that. There's the Jerry Media. You know those guys like Crispy Shorts.
No, you're
and
losing me here.
Elliot Talibi. They're all on Instagram. They're like internet sensations. No, am I?
I'm not a big internet sensation guy.
Well, you're missing out there.
I
So-
use Instagram for comic book art and the occasional news stuff. That's it.
and like Barstool Smoke shows of the day.
Not even that.
Wow.
No.
well,
I'm not,
you
I
know.
see. That's why when you go and pick on me and say that I like Wonder Woman just because she's scantily clad or because Gal Gadot is attractive, that really hurts me to my core, Wes, because I'm not like that at all. I appreciate a good-looking woman. Don't get me wrong.
Well, who doesn't?
But there's more to women than just that. So I think you're the one who, if anybody, cares more about their physical appearance on this show than not me.
Well, if you only saw the set of man boobs I have right now, you would not be saying that.
I don't know what that has to do with women and their physical appearance. But because we're getting so close to the end here and actually over the time we originally assessed, I'm going to get to what's been on my mind.
Yes.
And this is kind of out in left field, but one of the characters that I absolutely love in comics has become John Constantine. And I know his movie did not represent the character well, but I did
not a bad movie though.
I did enjoy it.
I did too.
I did like it. And now maybe people who were around when Constantine first came out, obviously he was before my time when he first started in Vertigo, but I kind of liked how Keanu did it in some ways, because his like demeanor works with pissed off at times. He can't play a happy character. It's not believable
and
at
he's
all.
like kind of aloof, and I feel like that's John Constantine to a certain extent.
Yes. Now there's much more to him. He's much more of a wise ass, and he can get very dark and all that. And I think he's a phenomenal character and very underrated. He does not have an ongoing series right now. He stopped, I believe it was May this past year. The Hellblazer title came to an end at DC. Now Vertigo's kind of getting things going again. I want to see him back like yesterday. Like, can we please get a John Constantine series going again? He's a phenomenal character. Give him a quality writer. Now, the other thing is, too, I'm very particular. Now, I know I criticized Rob Liefeld before, but there are certain characters that I think he draws well. Obviously, I think he's a very talented artist.
The lipless ones.
The lipless ones.
Footless characters.
See, certain artists should go with certain characters. Now, I'm trying to remember who was drawing Green Arrow for a while, and I cannot remember for the life of me. But I know Dexter Soy. See, now he's the guy who drew Red Hood for a while in Rebirth. Okay. Phenomenal. I think he can draw any character. I think the guy who's drawing Red Hood now, Pete Woods, is good for the new Red Hood look. But if he had the old look, because there was a change in August, I believe, of this past year, he wouldn't have done as well, because I don't think nobody draws the characters the same way as another person. You know what I mean? Like, there's no two renditions of a character.
Sure.
Okay. So
a snowflake.
My favorite. Exactly. My favorite Constantine is Sean Murphy's Constantine. Now, he's the guy who wrote Batman White Knight this past year. If you have not read that yet, pick that graphic novel up. It's Batman versus Joker, and without
the roles are reversed.
Kind of. That's a pretty good way of explaining it, and it's probably actually for the GWW, I said it was the best comic of 2018. It started in 2017, but it's an unbelievable page turner.
That's lofty. That's lofty title right there.
Give me that with Sean Murphy taking over, and guess what? The dude can write now too, because he wrote that series. Have him be. I want him as the artist or the penciler, excuse me, and I want him as the writer. Give me Sean Murphy, Hellblazer. Let's get that going again, please. Vertigo, DC, whatever it is, whoever's taking control of that, I need that now. Okay? That's what's been on my mind.
All right.
Now, pretty random. We have, should we tell people where else they can listen to us, or should we get to what they should keep in mind as their week progresses?
Yeah, I think let's save the plugging for the late. The last part. Let's plug ourselves at the end.
So one thing that Wes and I, one thing that
Wes
else
and get that? No?
Yeah, that was good. That Wes and I want to try and do, so you guys have an idea of what to expect next week. Now, there'll be changes from time to time. Who knows? We may not always know what we want to talk about next, but we have with Punisher being out, and it'll have been out for a week by the time our next episode airs. A week in 3 days, 2 weekends.
Yeah.
I think for the average person, they'll have it done by then.
Okay, yeah. For the people who are in it to win it.
Exactly. I mean, you have the Pro Bowl next weekend. Nobody cares about that. No one's watching that.
You got a week off, right?
That draws like a -3 rating, so no one's watching that. They'll be watching Punisher instead. So what Wes and I are going to discuss is going to be who's the best character in that series.
Right.
Just
the season, or do you want the series?
Honestly, it's not good for me. It won't change. It'll be the same thing. So that may make it easier. If you want to do for the series, we can do that.
All right, I might have to go back and take a little refresher on season 1, but yeah.
Okay. I mean, you could probably read it. You probably don't have to watch the whole thing.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just going to find the spark notes of everything anyway.
Right. Well, you still got to finish the Punisher season 2.
Yeah.
But Wes and I will debate that. If you want a spoiler, if you're like Wes and you like spoilers, you go and read my review of the Punisher.
Yes.
And you'll have an idea of where I stand on who's the best character. I'm not gonna say anything more than that. I guess that pretty much does everything up.
Yeah, that pretty much is it. So what we're gonna do is you can find us on Twitter right now at Change My Mind Pod, at Change My Mind POD. Mm-hmm. We're gonna have all of our archives on there. There's gonna be a nice way to kind of interact with all 5 of you listeners out there, and we're gonna put up a poll. after every episode and see who won.
Oh,
right. I
great
mean,
point.
who won the week?
The brains of the operation is Wesley Sykes.
Well, we use the term brains loosely around here.
It's either you or me, dude. So
yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. Well,
I guess you could say Tim is the brains of the operation, but I mean,
I think he's
Anyways, go ahead. You were saying I cut you off.
Yeah. So we'll have that out there on a weekly basis. So you go out and decide whether you like spoilers or you like my defense against myself and your prosecution. Is that how that works? I'm not a big Law and Order guy.
No, you got that right. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, so we'll do that special victims unit style.
I thought you were gonna make a Harry Potter callback, a defense against the dark arts.
Well, yeah, there's still time for that.
You're not a big Harry Potter guy, right?
I am.
You are.
Yes. Those are probably some of the last books I've read cover to cover.
Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings?
Harry Potter.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Someday maybe we have to debate that then. But go ahead.
Too boring.
Anyways,
but where can the people find you?
They can find me on Twitter. Look, if you like, I'll plug both my accounts because I have no shame.
Yeah.
If you want sports, particularly New England sports, at Nick_Friar, Friar. If you want the comic stuff, the entertainment stuff, everything to do with this podcast, it's Fry, it's FRY, _guy 1, the number 1. Where can they find you, Wesley?
Well, I just got an all-in-one Twitter handle there because I can't keep track of all that.
Smart man.
Yeah, it's tough. I don't know how you do it. So I am just Wesley Sykes _ for all your news and notes about the Change My Mind podcast and your leading source for Cape Cod High School athletics.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. No doubt about that.
Yeah. Cape Cod Times. Huh?
No.
Who?
No. Who?
What?
Who?
But yeah, so you can. So if you are interested in finding out what's happening in your local girls basketball, team, I could be your person.
You can listen to us right now that we know of. Obviously, on the WBSM YouTube channel, the archives, that's all going to be there. So everywhere on WBSM, you can pretty much find us.
And we'll plug the social media accounts for that as well.
I think it's at WBSM 1420. If it's not, yep, okay, I got it right.
Got the thumbs up.
And
there.
you can find them on Twitter there as well. On Facebook as well. Then there's Geeks Worldwide, who I do reviews for.
Yes.
They are hosting our show as well. You can find everything at thegww.com. And I believe it's at the GWW on Twitter. If not, there's an _ mix in there. But you search it on there.
Give it a good search, yeah.
Geeks Worldwide, you search that, you'll find it. They also have an Instagram. And then we will be on iTunes.
We'll be on iTunes, Spotify, Spreaker, Overcast, Player FM.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's just something to start. We'll be waiting on approval for some of those. That should be happening by later in the week. So,
but in terms of video,
this time next week,
yeah,
we should be able to be on all platforms audio.
This is the only way that you can see our beautiful faces, though, is if you watch us on the YouTube channel, whether it's on the live stream, which will be Monday nights right around 10 always.
Yes.
We'll let you know on Twitter if that changes. We may get a Facebook page, too. I may end up taking care of that.
Okay.
To be determined. But
yeah, it's work in progress.
Exactly. But the live show will always be on here on the YouTube channel. If something changes in terms of date, timing, whatever, we will let you guys know on social media. But I think that pretty much wraps everything up, Wes, right?
Yeah, no, I think you wrapped everything up. I also just saw Bad Times at the El Royale real quick to wrap up what I'm watching. It's on Fios right now or on demand. Good watch. Third act's a little slow, but I enjoyed it. A lot of good acting in that movie. A little bit of suspense.
Okay.
All right. Well, yeah, but I think then next week we'll punish each other. How's that sound?
Oh, sounds great.
I'll bring my assless chaps.
We'll talk to you guys next week.
All right.
We sorry, we just reflecting. They bring the truth out. Conspiracies, politicking about movies and commentary on comics. Popping bottles with groupies that chilling and dropping knowledge. They speak the truth, come see the light. No need to visit psychics. Shit, they can change your mind like you're indecisive. Ditch the other shows, it's time to live your best.